Right, hello to everyone. Thank you for coming back to the channel. I do appreciate your support a huge amount, because obviously I think that the more people talk about these things, the more it's shared among people. I think the more hopefully the government will, or those responsible for the government might take heed at some of the things that are being said. Not that they'll do anything, but it might spur some people on to think about the position of people like Keir Starmer and stuff like that. But anyway, it's difficult to say, it's just difficult when I read it. But apparently, and I did the last video I did was talking about how the Labour government didn't do an impact assessment about the winter fuel payments, and this is something that they had accused the Conservatives of when they were in government, that they might get rid of it, and they did their own impact assessment in the end to produce it for the Conservative government. So in that video I said, they hadn't done an impact assessment. Keir Starmer said he had never seen anything like that across his desk, and it was quite surprising, I think. It's now, and I'm going to show you I'm going to go through an article with you in the BBC about how there were Labour MPs who didn't even know that an impact assessment had not been done. So
Okay, so this is on the BBC News. Labour MPs shocked at no full winter assessment has been done. The government revealed last week there had been no wide-ranging assessment of the impact of winter fuel cuts, but a more limited equalities analysis was released as a result of Freedom of Information request. While more than 100,000 more pensioners are expected to claim pension credit and therefore retain the winter fuel payment, the document anticipated that more than 750,000 who are eligible still won't apply. Over 80s are expected to be the largest financial hit. Conservatives said that this data was shocking and called for the government to publish full impact assessments. One of them told me the lack of a full assessment is shocking and I find it profoundly depressing. The MP said the issue wasn't going away. Critical emails were continuing to flow into their inbox, and people would be concerned if there was no information on how elderly people might be affected. Another MP said it's pretty shocking that the government have not carried out an assessment, especially given the concerns raised by backbenchers and across the House. One of their colleagues said it may well be that an assessment wasn't legally required, but it was clearly morally required. They didn't want to give their names, obviously, because the whip is monitoring any dissent among Labour MPs. But also they're hopeful that the Chancellor will put in some kind of caveat or some kind of measures behind the scenes to help pensioners in this situation. I don't think that will happen myself. On Saturday, Labour MP Rachel Maskell, who abstained in the Commons vote this week, said the equality analysis showed the detriment the policy would cause to very vulnerable people. The MP, who was chair of All-Party Group on Ageing, told the BBC she wanted the government to publish a full impact assessment and delay the introduction of the policy for 12 months. Mitigations needed to be considered at pace for this winter, she added. But so far there has been no signal from the Treasury that they are planning to do anything beyond extending the Household Support Fund, which at a cost of 421 million, which is a drop in the ocean, to be honest with you. One MP told me they need to start working fast on what will happen in the budget. Another MP suggested their own government was acting hypocritically. They said, had the last government failed to carry out vital assessments, we would have accused them of avoiding scrutiny and not wanting to be held to account.
This is absolutely true. If this had happened to the Conservative government, if they had done this, Labour would have been all over them, saying that they were, they were acting in an implorable manner, and this was all horrible. But because it's Labour, they know they can do it, because you had 50 MPs abstain. That doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything to the vote, abstaining. One MP voted against again. They had their whip removed, but so what? The Labour government aren't worried about this. They've got such a majority that they don't care if some of their backbenchers don't agree with the policies they're coming out with, because it doesn't matter to them. They can still win the vote, and they did. And so I think that this situation is just getting worse and worse. And I think that the more it's not just about whether you abstain, whether you vote, or what you do. It's about upsetting your own party, and the more they upset their own party, and we've had unions come out and saying this is a bad idea, the more he upsets his party, the more he upsets the unions, the more pressure is going to be put on him, and maybe there are going to be some voices saying that he should no longer be the Prime Minister, which would be, which, you know, I think we're not far away from that. I think that eventually people are going to realise that he is causing a huge amount of problems for the country, and that you know, even though he's got 5 years and he can turn it around, I think there are people that are going to be saying we've got too much heat on this. You know, we're getting too many bad emails, too many reporters are asking us very unhappy and very unnerving questions. I think something's going to happen. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about this, about how some Labour MPs didn't even know that an assessment had not been done, and how long do you think Keir Starmer has got left in the Prime Minister's job? Let me know down in the comment section, and of course please do subscribe for more of this type of thing.